This me is Queen Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Okay, guys, I've gotten a lot of questions about one of my categorization theories. I told you guys that I pretty much categorize people in light, gray, or dark. So they're either a light person, a gray person, or a dark person. And sometimes I call this positive, neutral, or negative. But for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to use the terms interchangeably. I'm just going to use light, gray, and dark. And you know that I'm talking about both of the descriptions, both of the labels. So how do you know if you're light, gray, or dark? You know, when people first started asking me this question, I was like, huh? What do you mean, how do you know? Don't you know thyself? No, everybody doesn't. And we live in a society where it's become very weird what's right and what's wrong. Like some people are like not even certain anymore of what that means. When I was a young girl, right and wrong was pretty much black and white. It was some gray areas, but it was pretty much black and white. Nowadays, people will tell you what's right is wrong and what's wrong is right. You know, so it's really strange nowadays. Things are not exactly easy to navigate. To me, it's still self-explanatory, but a lot of people struggle with it, so obviously not. So this is what I came up with to help people figure this this categorization system out. I came up with an easy way to tell you about it. Number one, if you think about it, get a piece of paper, right, and make a horizontal line on your piece of paper. At the beginning of your line, go from left to right. At the beginning of your line, put a 0. Then put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just put a horizontal line of numbers. Over top 0, put angels. Over top of 10, put demons. Over top of 5, put humans. Okay? Now, angels are 0 because it's the state of purity, the state of perfection. No human being will ever reach a 0 in your lifetime. You might reach it after you've passed over, but you probably won't reach it in your lifetime. Like I said, this is angels, heavenly beings, messengers. The 10 is with demons. These are the evilest beings, the most vile. You know, most of us will never reach this level of darkness either. So, you got those. Now, it says here, oh, in the middle, 4, 5, 6. Over top of the 5, we put human. So numbers 4, 5, and 6 are gray. If you identify yourself as a 4, a 5, or a 6, you are a gray individual. If you identify yourself as a 1, 2, or a 3, you are a light individual. If you identify yourself as a 7, an 8, or a 9, you are a dark individual. Okay? Most people are going to fall between 4, 5, or 6. That's why I said put human there. Because most of us, that's where we dwell. Right there in the dead smack in the middle. So most of us don't aspire to be light. Not that we can't reach it. Because we've seen Buddha. We've seen Kuan Yin. We've seen others reach that level of light. We've seen many others than them. This is the examples that I can think of. So it is an obtainable space. 1, 2, 3 is an obtainable space, but it's just something that most people don't aspire to do. Most people don't aspire to always be honest. Most people don't aspire to the actions and intentions that it would take to be light. You don't see too many priestesses of Mayat running around trying to be, trying to be as good and light as possible. There are light workers. There are people that fall into that 1, 2, 3, but it's rare, as we all know. That's why I said most people fall into 4, 5, 6. And 4, 5, 6 isn't a bad space to be in. 4, 5, 6 means that you do good sometimes. If you're a 4, most of the time. If you're a 5, If you're a 6, If you're a 4, 5, or 6, you do good things though, sometimes at least. And you also do not so good things. So you might be the kind of person, and people sometimes will say to me, I'm all three. You can't be all three. You only one number. Pick a number, you know? So the hard part is going to be picking the number. So like I said before, if you are in that middle space, you're in the space with the majority of humanity. That's where most people fall. Most people do good things and they do bad things. Give you an example. Most people will take care of their families, look out for their elderly cousin. They might even go volunteer at the soup kitchen, but they'll get on the phone and gossip about their neighbor. They'll get on the phone and put somebody down. You know, they'll do things along those lines. They'll gossip. They'll be treacherous. They'll be petty. So on one hand, here is this person at the soup kitchen on Thanksgiving. But on another hand, here they are sabotaging a friend at work because that person is getting ahead of them. That's a gray person. They do a lot of good things, but they just haven't stopped doing all those dark things that would need to bump them up into 1, 2, or 3. That's it. I'll give you another example. If someone lost a wallet with $700 in it, 16 credit cards, a checkbook, and some receipts, and a light person found it, a 123. A 123 is going to find that wallet. They're going to look and find the driver's license inside of it. In most cases, there'll be one in there. And they are going to take that person's wallet to their home, knock on their door, wait for them to come to the door, and return their wallet with a smile on their face, with everything intact. And if the person lives too far away, they're going to certify, sign for, have it mailed through, some kind of secure method and get to the person. You see, that's a light person. A gray person will mail the wallet back to the person, but they might not leave all the cash in it or any cash at all. A 4 might leave, they're taking all the cash. A 4, 5, or 6 will more than likely take the cash out and return the wallet. Okay? A 7, 8, 9 is going to keep the cash, run up all the credit cards, bounce a lot of checks, and quite frankly, throw the wallet away when they're finished with it and just disregard the person's personal belongings, or they might have had pictures in it or something like that. They just disregard that and not care. That's the difference between the three. You see how the gray person did do the right thing, but that cash was just a little bit too much temptation for them. And that's the thing about gray people. Gray people are generally good people. They're just not good at fighting off temptation. Okay? And likewise, gray people, which is the majority of most people, have the hardest time not doing stuff that's considered to be dark. Now, how do you figure out what you are? First of all, light people are not perfect. Light people are just trying to do the right thing and stay away from dark, negative behaviors all the time. You see? So that's the biggest thing. How do you figure out which one you are? This is the part you have to get self-aware enough to do for yourself, because the only way to know which one you are is to look back on your actions and your intentions. Are you a petty person? Are you an argumentative person? Are you a person that gets online and trolls and fucks with people? What kind of person are you? It's about your deeds. What deeds do you perform? And what are your intentions? When you do a deed, do you do it because you want to help, or do you do the deed because you want to be seen? Are you at the soup kitchen because you want to help homeless people, or are you working there because you want to take pictures for your Instagram so everybody can see how benevolent you are? You see, there's a difference. If you're doing it just to be seen, then you're really gray, even though you're doing a light act. I saw someone and they were saying to me that this person believes that they're light. And I was like, but this person cheats on his wife, lies every chance he gets, every chance he gets, and is into something at work that we think is criminal. That's not a light person. But because of the fact that he doesn't, quote unquote, hurt anyone, doesn't, in his mind, doesn't hurt anyone, he thinks he's light. But he's not, because you're lying. Lying puts you out of light immediately. Light people don't lie. You're automatically tossed out, So when somebody says to me, I'm all three, I'm like, you can't be. You're only one. So think about your actions, think about your intentions, and that's how you figure out your number. Now, like I said, start in the middle, 4, 5, 6, and you're either going to go to the left or to the right. I'm the person who's about a 2.5. I never do anything that is going to hurt people. I never do things that are dark. I always try to do the right thing. I keep my actions and intentions positive. But in the past, I've done things that I'm not proud of, and I'm still cleaning up that karma. So I will put myself at a 2.5. Now, I probably started off at like an 8. It took a while to get down there. Now, another thing, you can change this. Let's say you look at this number line and you put yourself at an 8 and you like, damn, I'm messing up. You can change this by changing your actions. Stop lying. Stop being treacherous. These things are easy things you can stop today. Stop being petty. Stop gossiping. Stop harming people. Stop doing things just so you can be seen and you can be noticed by, Instagram, or you can get likes on Facebook. Do things because it means something to you, because you feel it in your heart. If you change your actions and your intentions, your number can go up or down. Think about Paul on the road to Damascus. That's one of my favorite stories. Paul was an ass. He was mean to the Christians. He was a really bad person. I think he was killing people, as a matter of fact. He fell off his horse, bumped his head. The next thing you know, he was a Christian. And after that, did everything in the world he could to bring positivity to people, to bring Jesus. And not Jesus in the churchy sense, but in the love sense, in the Christ-like sense, in the compassionate sense. So he was being kind to people, merciful to people, helping people. Went from killing them to helping them. That's a person that goes from dark to light. Okay? So it can happen by you changing your actions and intentions. But to be honest with you, most people don't change. Most people are light when they're young, very young, like children. Children have a tendency to come in light. Not all of them, but most of them. And then what happens is that over time, a lot of people go to being gray and some go all the way to being dark because of time, because of circumstance, bitterness, unforgiveness, things that they're holding against people, things people have done to them, abuses, things like that. So if you find yourself, if you look at your actions and your intentions on a day-to-day basis and you feel like you do more positive things than negative things, then you're more than likely gray. If you do a combination of them both, if you do all negative things, then you're going into being a dark person. If you do all positive things, then you're going into being a light person. It's very simple, but like I said before, a lot of people have emailed me and texted me about it. People who just couldn't figure out where they belonged. And I'm like, well, what are your intentions? You have to be kind of self-aware here. What are your intentions? What are your actions? What do you do on a day-to-day basis? Be honest with yourself. Are you a shitty person or not? And if you are, that's fine. Change your actions and your intentions. And by the end of the year, you could be a totally different person. But like I said, I don't see a lot of people do this. Most people just stay 4, 5, or 6. Okay? So if you're a gray person, don't think of that as a negative because most people are gray. So don't think of it as a negative. You're in colossal company. But if that's not who you want to be, you can change it at any given time. This categorization system is based on you. That's why I said nobody can label you. I can't tell you if you're light or dark. Only you know that because only you know your actions. All I know is the little bit that I see. Now, I can pull cards on it and see the vibration and know if you're light or dark. That part I can do, or gray. But I would never categorize another person. I always ask them, think about your intentions, your actions, and you tell me who you are. Okay? So look at yourself. Look at your number line. Where do you fall into this line? And be honest with yourself, because that's the only way to figure it out, is to be honest about it. And remember that light people are not perfect people. They're just people who do everything they can to stay in positive actions and positive intentions for good reasons. That's it. Nobody gets to be perfect. That's why the 0 is angels, because angels and God, goddess, that's the only energy that's perfect. We are flawed from the moment we take our first breath, and that's okay. But you can be the best person you want to be. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can make you act and behave a certain way. Nobody can make your character a certain way. Nobody can make you intend a certain thing but you. That's why you have to know, you have to figure out which one of these you are by knowing thyself. Okay? After I finish this video, I'm going to put up 2 other videos that talk about being positive, negative, light and dark, that kind of thing. I've done 2 already. So I'm going to put both of them underneath here, and you can take a look at it and let me know in the comments what you guys think. Guys, it's time for me to get going. I've kept you too long. Please, if you want to send me a love donation, I'll leave my PayPal. If you want a tarot or an oracle card reading, I will leave my email. If you want to hit me up on social media, I'll leave my Facebook and my Instagram. If you want to send me a gift, I'll leave my wish list. And I will talk to you tomorrow because I got a lot more to say. See you later.